Today we're going to talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Kingdom Come Deliverance is an action RPG where you are set in the shoes of a medieval townsperson who gets dragged into the historic war between King Sigismund of Hungary and his brother Wenceslas IV of Bohemia.
Yeah, it's great game, first of all. It reminds me a lot of Skyrim.
Yeah.
It's the perfect evolution from that, I think.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Skyrim, as I know you are, and
Yeah.
so it's easy to make a connection between the two.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of similarities, but the historic nature of Kingdom Come is
yeah. The very historic nature of it almost has almost as part of the appeal,
right.
because people can know, all right, you can go to a history book and all right, there's the battle I just saw in the game, or
right.
there's the person I just met.
Right. For me, when it first came to my attention, it was the HEMA aspect of it. Historical European martial arts.
Yes.
And that's one of the things I noticed right away is they use actual longsword techniques. The stuff that, I've seen in martial treatises, that date back, to the 13th, 14th century. And you're seeing those techniques in play.
Yes.
It's certainly not fantasy swordplay at all.
Yes, and it's beautiful when you get the chance to actually duel your enemies. And it feels intense. At the beginning, it feels like your opponents are much better than you. And towards the end, you feel that you've achieved mastery when you finally achieve mastery over sword fighting.
Yeah, something I noticed when I first started playing, it was a little awkward because I was used to playing Skyrim, right?
Yes.
And it's very different. But it was very intuitive. The overhand strikes, the stabbing, the half sorting, all really well done. And that's one of my favorite parts of the game. Graphically, certainly leaps and bounds above what other games have done in the past.
Yes, it's beautiful. The graphics are incredible. They're the best they've been for compared to most games.
Right.
They're the best, the most realistic graphics.
Yeah, the beautiful texture on all the foliage.
Yes.
When you're riding your horse across the countryside, it looks and feels like you're in that moment. And
ignore the suddenly appearing flowers, though.
Right, yeah, you do have that rendering effect, but you're going to have that in video games. I should clarify, we do play the Xbox One version of the game, and you've been playing it longer than I have. Henry, I think his backstory is very interesting.
Yes.
It's compelling.
You're the son of a blacksmith in this town, Skalitz, and you go out one day to run errands, and after you get into some trouble with a drunk and have to narrowly avoid an angry German dude, you return home and help your father finish the legendary sword for Sir Radzig Kobyla. And then after that...
No, we don't want to give away too much of the story.
Yes.
Hey, I think you bring up some excellent points on that. Just like Skyrim, I think it does kind of railroad you a little bit.
Yeah.
When I first played the game, it seemed to me like, so I run into town. I'm running errands for my father. I got to go collect money from a deadbeat. I've got to go and get him ale from my girlfriend Bianca, and a few other things. And then, so I gather the items. I go back to my father. I give him the items, or I tried to anyway. And he says, you know, I haven't completed my task. And I'm like, well, I've got everything he told me to get. Well, then it forces me to go back and do some sword training, which is all well and good. It was important, and I love doing it. But I feel like I should have had the opportunity to deliver the items as necessary to, you know, so that they kind of forced the story on you in a very linear way, especially at the beginning. Now, once you got past that initial stage, and you're still kind of led around, but I like how expansive it is.
Yes.
I like the realism of it. You know, the fact that you have to sleep. The fact that you can overeat.
Yes, the fact that you can overeat.
Yes, and which you call?
Which I call gaining the pig of shame.
The pig of shame.
Because a pig-shaped icon appears at the bottom of the screen, revealing to you that you have overeaten.
And it looks something like this. Warhorse Studios is probably the best independent game studio out there.
Oh, yes.
These guys are really on top of it. But it'd be remiss of us if we didn't talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the glitch that we've run into with the game.
Oh, yes. I was going to come here and talk about how much, I know not many people are happy with the save game system. I really loved the save game system, but I ran into this bug. You run into a bug where you cannot sleep. You
can't sit down.
You can't sit down.
And thus you can't sleep.
And thus you can't sleep.
Which means you can't be rejuvenated.
Yes.
Your only recourse at that point is to roll the game back countless hours and lose, you know what? You know, some people were saying 40, 50 hours of gameplay.
I know if I go back, I'm going to lose a whole lot more, because I only ran into the bug once. I only thought about it once, and then like 3 hours later, I realized it was still going on.
Right, that's a massive a lot of content to lose. Now, I understand that there is a way to go to a bathhouse and engage a winch to become rejuvenated. That's, a little extreme, but you still don't get to go to sleep. And eventually, that's going to be a problem, especially when a winch costs you 40 coins. Now, we have reached out to Warhorse through social media, and they're getting hammered with these questions, and we haven't heard back from them yet, and that's understandable. I mean, they're at the top of the food chain right now. The game has been out on Xbox since February 13th, is that right?
Yes, it's been out on all consoles roughly since then. Of course, there was the open beta, which ran on PC for a long while.
Yeah, and this problem with the not being able to sleep, not being able to sit, that bug has been around for like 2 years, as I understand it. So they are working on it. I hope there's a fix. Luckily for me, it hasn't crept up in my game yet.
Yes.
So, but I'm still in the early stages of it. Do we recommend the game? I mean, wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
I mean, despite the glitch, it's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it every bit as much as I did Skyrim in its early days, and the sword fighting alone has me. Lock picking though, I still do not have that thing down. Yeah, that's
I still
rough.
don't have the thing down, and used every resource I have, and I think that's just a thing I'm struggling with. I think it's just a problem I've been having with lock picking. It's just
right.
I can't grasp it.
So, okay, so as we wrap this up, I wanted to ask you who some of your favorite characters in the game are.
Well, by far, I think, well, other than myself, Henry, I think Lord Radzig Kabila is one of my favorite characters in the game. He has that kind of charming, lordly swagger about him, and in the later game, you can tell he kind of wants to take care of Henry, and it almost has like that kind of fatherly nature, where he just kind of he doesn't want things to go wrong, and he's trying to stick by his friends and protect his country.
Because he's close to Wenceslas.
Yes, Wenceslas,
yeah.
who's the king of Bohemia, and a guy who's in trouble with his half brother, the invading Sigismund.
Right, he's a bit of a party boy. So
yeah.
Now you mentioned that looking out after Henry. That's one of the things I appreciated. I really liked Henry's father.
Yes.
Right? And when he was, spoiler alert, when he gets cut down, when he's fighting with the sword that he had made, you could tell there's a story there that's not been told. And that's what I was wondering, because you played into the game farther than I did. Do you ever find out the backstory?
I think I'm getting close to that moment.
Okay. Yeah, because that's the thing I most want to know is about Henry's father, because it was so compelling, and you could see it. He was a master swordsman. Yeah, he was cutting through those people, and everybody keeps alluding to this guy, this small village blacksmith, and yet all these people, these important people, know him.
Yes, all like everybody's saying, "Oh, such a renowned blacksmith working in a small village," or "Your father was a great man," and you want to know, well, what is that story? Did he run around with Radzig?
Yeah, I think that's obvious. Yeah, that's, but hopefully that will be told. To end our little video here. Warhorse has made a beautiful game. Yes, it's got bugs, but it's well worth the price of admission. And I'm willing to overlook those. And I trust that their developers are working on the problem. I know that there's a save mod. That is on PC, and I expect it'll probably be on Xbox One soon, and that might help part of the problem. I'd still like to go to sleep, though, for goodness sake. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in with us. I'm Bob Freeman.
I'm Connor.
All right, and we'll see you again real soon. Thanks for tuning in.